Hmm? So, good afternoon. We have discussed about transport in plants in the previous classes. Today, we will discuss about the respiration. Before going to the slides, I will give you an introduction of what I want to discuss. Respiration is the breakdown of food materials in plants. Breakdown of food materials and release of simpler molecules which ultimately give rise to energy. In other words, respiration is the simpler words, respiration is the process of breakdown of food materials, especially carbohydrates, to carbon dioxide and water and release of energy. But respiration has also some other meanings that we will discuss in due course. Now, not only carbon dioxide and water, other things are also formed. We can say that respiration is the process of formation of simpler molecules from complex molecules, and in the process energy is released. Now, you know there are three biomolecules which are important in plants and animals. They are carbohydrates, proteins and fats. I am repeating again, carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Now, out of these, the most common substrate, what is substrate? The substance which breaks. The substance which breaks is carbohydrate, that is glucose. So, normally we start discussion about respiration by the breakdown of glucose, but simultaneously there are also processes by which proteins and fatty acids or fats are broken down to release energy. Now, we are mainly concerned with carbohydrates. Now, another thing, this respiration which breaks complex substances to simple ones is of two types. One is aerobic respiration. Aerobic means involving air or oxygen, and anaerobic respiration where oxygen is not required. So, respiration is of two types, aerobic respiration where energy is involved, and aerobic respiration where oxygen is involved, and anaerobic respiration where oxygen is not involved. Now, we will discuss today first the aerobic respiration. We will complete the entire process of respiration today. First, we will discuss about aerobic respiration. As I have already told you, though respiration involves the breakdown of carbohydrates, proteins and sugars, the most important one is carbohydrate and that too glucose. Now, respiration, the first step in aerobic respiration or the respiration which involves oxygen is glycolysis. For your information, for anaerobic respiration also the starting point is glucose, but we will discuss about the differences later on. In aerobic respiration, it starts with glucose. Glucose changes to a 3-carbon compound. Now, this process of conversion of glucose to a 3-carbon compound, how many carbons are there in glucose? You know that glucose is a 6 carbon compound, organic compound. It is a 6 carbon carbohydrate which is an organic compound, and this 6 carbon glucose breaks to form 3 carbon compounds. Now, these 3 carbon compound formation involves a number of steps, and the process which involves the formation of 6 carbons to 3 carbon compounds is known as glycolysis. Glyco means sugar, lysis means breakdown. Breakdown of sugar is glycolysis. In the process of glycolysis, no oxygen is involved. Now, you will ask the question, if no oxygen is involved in glycolysis, why is it called aerobic respiration? No, the first part of aerobic respiration is glycolysis, where no energy is involved, no oxygen is involved, whereas the second part of aerobic respiration involves oxygen. So, the first part glycolysis, no oxygen is involved, though energy is generated. So, glycolysis is an anaerobic process, which is the first part of both aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Now, coming to the steps of glycolysis. Now, look at this flow chart. Now, you see, I told you that glucose is a 6 carbon compound. I will show the next. Next. Now, you can see here. Next. Clear. It is clear. Now, you can see this is glucose. This one is glucose. Now, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbons are there, and this glucose is in ring form. Now, there are 6 carbons in this glucose. Now, this 6 carbon compound glucose, which is a simple sugar, gets converted to glucose 6 phosphate. Now, what is glucose 6 phosphate? Glucose 6 phosphate is the compound where a phosphate group is attached to the 6th position. You see, here this is the 6th position, here a phosphate group is attached. So, this one is glucose 6 phosphate, and this is glucose. Now, I will give you certain clues. In all steps, mostly all steps of respiration, both aerobic and anaerobic, enzymes are involved, and at many places ATP is also involved. ATP, you know, is energy rich adenosine triphosphate. Now, whenever ATP is involved, normally the enzyme is a kinase. Kinase is the word that is used for the enzyme which is involved in attachment or detachment of phosphate with the use of ATP. Now, here who gives this phosphate to glucose? It is ATP. Adenosine triphosphate gives the phosphate to glucose and gets converted to ADP. ADP, adenosine diphosphate. So, here one ATP is involved and it gives rise to ADP, and the phosphate is added to glucose to form glucose 6 phosphate, and in the process the enzyme that is used is hexokinase. Hexo means 6, kinase means the enzyme that adds phosphate with the use of ATP. Hexokinase, hexa means 6, hexokinase is the enzyme. This is the first step of glycolysis. Second step, glucose 6 phosphate is converted to another 6 carbon compound, which is almost an isomer, and chemistry you have read about isomer. It is an isomer of glucose 6 phosphate, which is fructose 6 phosphate. You see, this is fructose 6 phosphate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But in this ring, there are 6 carbons. In this ring, there are 6 carbons, and in this ring, there are 5 carbons. So, where have the other 2 gone? They have gone to, I am sorry, I told a wrong thing. In this ring, there are 5 carbons and 1 is outside. In this ring also there are 5 carbons and 1 is outside. However, in this ring, there are 4 carbons in the ring and 2 outside. This is fructose 6 phosphate. So, how many phosphates? How many carbons? 6. But only the ring is either 6 membered ring or 5 membered ring. Fructose 6 phosphate. So, what is the enzyme? Fructose 6 phosphate is an isomer of glucose 6 phosphate. So, the enzyme used is phosphoglucoisomerase. That means, glucose with phosphate. So, phosphoglucoisomerase, because there is the formation of an isomer here, that is fructose 6 phosphate. So, second step is over. Third step, now it will be faster because you have understood. What is the enzyme when ATP is used? Kinase. What is the enzyme when isomer is formed? Isomerase. Before the enzyme, you get the name of the compound, hexo, phospho, hexo, like that, or phosphogluco. This is phosphoglucoisomerase. Fructose 6 phosphate has 1 phosphate. How many carbons? 6 carbons. Now, how many members in the ring? 5. How many carbons in the ring? 4. How many carbons outside the ring? 2. Total carbons how many? 6. Fructose 6 phosphate, which has a phosphate on the 6th carbon, now gets another phosphate to its first carbon. This is the first carbon. It gets 1 phosphate to the first carbon and it gets converted to fructose 1,6 biphosphate. That means 2 phosphates. Fructose 1,6 biphosphate or bisphosphate, same thing. Now, this is 2 phosphate. Now, here what should be the enzyme? Because phosphate is added, the enzyme is kinase. To what is phosphate added? To fructose. What type of fructose? Fructose with phosphate. So, the enzyme is phosphofructokinase. Then this fructose 1,6 biphosphate breaks in the presence of an enzyme to form 2 3 carbon compounds. One is dihydroxyacetone phosphate, it is a keto compound, and the other is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. This is dihydroxyacetone phosphate, this is the keto group, and this is 3 phosphoglyceraldehyde. Now, the phosphate is on the 3rd position here and there. Now, this is a keto compound and this is a aldol compound. Now, these two can interchange. Now, they can change into triose phosphate isomerase, a change in the form of, in the presence of triose phosphate isomerase. Triose phosphate, because this is a triose 3 carbons, this is a triose 3 carbons, and these two change, that is isomerase. And what kind of triose? Triose with a phosphate. So, triose phosphate isomerase. Now, further reactions involve only glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, only this one. But whenever glyceraldehyde decreases, dihydroxyacetone phosphate changes to glyceraldehyde and the process continues. Power cut. Oh. So, two molecules of glyceraldehyde, 3 phosphate are formed. Why we write 2 molecules? Because from fructose we get 2 molecules of this. This change is not important because ultimately we get glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate is an aldehyde. Now, here the enzyme is aldolase. Glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate is an aldehyde which loses hydrogen to NAD. NAD is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. It is a organic compound which has the capability of accepting hydrogen and electrons. Now, it forms NADH plus H plus. Now, here everywhere 2 is written because it refers to 2 molecules, but you can also write 1. NAD if you are dealing with 1 glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. NAD is converted to, I am sorry, glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate loses hydrogen and forms 1,3-biphosphoglycerate or glyceric acid. Why 1,3-biphosphoglyceric acid? Along with losing hydrogen, it also grains phosphate, but this phosphate is not given by ATP, it is inorganic phosphate PI. Now, forget about this 2 here, simply remember PI and NAD. NAD gives rise to NADH and H plus and PI is added. Now, it is not kinase the enzyme because there is no involvement of ATP, but however, the hydrogen is removed. So, the enzyme is glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate dehydrogenase, removal of hydrogen, dehydrogenase. Now, then so the phosphoglycerate means phosphoglyceric acid. This is phosphoglyceric acid. Glycerate is the ion. If you add hydrogen here, it becomes phosphoglyceric acid. It is also 3 carbon compound. Now, phosphoglyceric acid forms, I am sorry, 1,3-biphosphoglyceric acid forms 3-phosphoglyceric acid by losing the phosphate to ADP. There we got the phosphate from ATP and here we give the phosphate to ADP. Now, here also it is called kinase, but what kinase? Phosphoglycerokinase or phosphoglycerate kinase, because the substrate is phosphoglycerate, phosphoglycerokinase. Now, by losing phosphate, 1,3-biphosphoglyceric acid forms 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Out of 2, 1 is out, 1 is there, and where it has gone the phosphate to ADP to form ATP. What is the enzyme? Kinase. And 3-phosphoglyceric acid, 2 molecules, I am sorry, 3-phosphoglyceric acid forms 3-phosphoglyceric acid forms 2-phosphoglyceric acid. That means, the phosphoglyceric phosphate group is moving from 3rd to 2nd position, 3-phosphoglyceric acid to 2-phosphoglyceric acid. Here you see the phosphate is in the 3rd position, but here it is in the 2nd position. The enzyme is mutase. Mutation means change, phosphoglyceromutase. Now, here 2-phosphoglyceric acid changes to phosphoglyceric acid in the presence of enolase, where water molecule is removed. Now, this is the 2-phosphoglyceric phosphoenol pyruvic acid, where a molecule of water is removed. Now, phosphoenol pyruvic acid loses phosphate to ADP again and forms ATP, and ultimately pyruvic acid formed. Pyruvic acid is a 3-carbon acid. It is pyruvate, means pyruvic acid ion. Now, pyruvate, now everywhere you see mentioning of 2 molecules, because there are 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde ultimately formed from glucose, but you can also write with 1. Now, here you see the enzyme is again kinase, because ADP gets the phosphate. So, whenever ATP and ADP are involved, it is kinase. Whenever hydrogen is removed, it is dehydrogenase. Whenever change of position, it is mutase. Whenever change of isomer, it is isomerase, and to that you add the name of the compound before that. Now, previous. Now, here let us see, it is very clearly written. Glucose glucose gets converted to glucose 6 phosphate in the presence of ATP. Enzyme is hexokinase or glucokinase. It can be also called glucokinase. Glucose 6 phosphate gets converted to fructose 6 phosphate. Now, again here it is phosphohexoisomerase, because there is isomer formation. Fructose 6 phosphate again gets one phosphate from ATP, and the enzyme is phosphofructokinase, and what is formed? Fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Glucose 6 phosphate, fructose 6 phosphate, which is an isomer, then fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Then fructose 1,6 phosphate biphosphate breaks to form glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. These two things can interchange in the presence of the enzyme isomerase. And what isomerase? Triose phosphate isomerase. Next. Now, glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate loses hydrogen to NAD to form glyceraldehyde 1,3-biphosphoglyceric acid, and here one more phosphate is added. So, NAD is added and phosphate is added. Now, NAD becomes NADH and phosphate gets attached. So, 3-phosphoglyceric acid changes to 1,3-biphosphoglyceric acid. Then 1,3-biphosphoglyceric acid donates its phosphate to ADP to form 3-phosphoglyceric acid, and this is in the presence of phosphoglycerokinase, because there is involvement of ATP. Now, 3-phosphoglyceric acid then gets converted to 2-phosphoglyceric acid. This is mutation, position 3 to 2. So, phosphoglyceromutase, and 2-phosphoglyceric acid in the presence of enolase forms phosphoenol pyruvic acid, loses water, and finally, phosphoenol pyruvic acid forms pyruvic acid again in the presence of ADP, loses its phosphate. Before going further, let us see how many ATPs are used and how many ATPs are formed. Previous slide. Now, here one ATP is used. Here one ATP is used. Further, next. Here ATP is not used. What is used? ADP is used. What is formed? ATP is formed. So, 2 ATP are formed from glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. So, how many glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate are formed from glucose? 2. So, 2 into 2 is 4. 4 ATP are formed in glycolysis, and how many are used? Previous 2 are used. 4 are formed, 2 are used. So, the net gain is 2. So, what is next? What is the next ultimate product of next previous? What is the ultimate product of glycolysis? Pyruvate or pyruvic acid. Pyruvate is the ion form of pyruvic acid. Now, you look at here, here the NAD, ADP, ATP are not 2, but in next slides, next, here it, here it is written 2, because here he means 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. So, total ATP formed during glycolysis is 4, used is 2, net gain is 2. So, ATP in glycolysis is 2. Next. Then the pyruvate or pyruvic acid, 2 molecules, that is from glucose. This pyruvic acid is formed by glycolysis in the cytoplasm, not anywhere else, cytoplasm. Now, from cytoplasm, pyruvic acid enters into the mitochondrion. Mitochondrion is the site of aerobic respiration. Now, in the mitochondrion, the pyruvic acid loses 1 carbon dioxide. How many carbons are there in pyruvic acid? 3. This loses 1 carbon dioxide to form a compound, acetyl compound. Acetyl means 2 carbons. Now, and one more thing is added here, coenzyme A. This coenzyme A is added here, SCOA. It is SCOA, SCOA is the coenzyme. Now, coenzyme A is added, and what is removed? Carbon dioxide is removed and 2 hydrogens are removed. Now, here 2 hydrogen are removed. Who takes the 2 hydrogen? The 2 hydrogen are taken by NAD to form NADH plus H plus. Previous. Now, previous. Here you see there one NAD is used, and how many NADs are used? 2. NADs are used 2, because one glyceraldehyde, one NAD, and other glyceraldehyde and another NAD. So, in glycolysis 4 ATP are formed, 2 ATP are used, and 2 NADH2 are formed, and 2 NADs are used during the conversion of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate to 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid. Next. Now, here one NAD is used. So, after glycolysis one more NAD is used. 1 means 2. There 2 NAD, here 2 NAD. So, total up to this, how many NAD are used? 4 NAD for 1 molecule of glucose and 2 NAD for 1 molecule of pyruvic acid. Now, here 2 NADs are used. Here it is shown 2 NADs used to form 2 NADH. Now, how many NADH are formed? 4. How many NAD are used? 4. In glycolysis 2 NAD and here 2 NAD. Next. Then is the Krebs cycle. Now, Hans Krebs in 53, I think, he found Krebs cycle. By his name it is Krebs cycle, and by the by the glycolytic process is called Embden-Meyerhof-Parnas pathway, EMP pathway. I forgot to tell that at that time. Glycolysis is formed otherwise known as Embden-Meyerhof-Parnas pathway, and this is Krebs cycle, or it is also called citric acid cycle. Now, so with that background, what is ultimately formed from glycolysis? Pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid enters to mitochondrion and it gets converted to acetyl coenzyme A. How many carbons are there in acetyl coenzyme A? 2 carbons. What happened to the third carbon which was there in pyruvic acid? It gets released in the form of carbon dioxide. So, one more thing that is released during respiration, during glycolysis and acetyl coenzyme A formation is 1 carbon dioxide, 4 ATP and 2 plus 2 NADH. Now, this here acetyl coenzyme is formed, that is shown again. This enters into a cycle or Krebs cycle. This Krebs cycle here is, this is oxaloacetic acid. How many carbons? 4. Oxaloacetic. Oxalic acid 2 carbons, acetic acid 2 carbons. Oxaloacetic acid has 4 carbons. How many carbons in acetyl coenzyme A? 2 carbons. Now, these two combine and form 4 plus 2, 6 carbon compound, and that 6 carbon compound is called citrate or citric acid. Citrate is the ion once again, citrate or citric acid. In the presence of the enzyme, citrate synthetase and water, and the coenzyme A is released and these two are attached. Now, how many carbons are there in citrate? 6. Where from it got 6? 4 from oxaloacetic acid and 2 from acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A is released, water is added and citric acid is formed. Citric acid in the presence of an enzyme aconitase forms isocitric acid, only change of position. Now, isocitric acid, instead of calling it isomerase, why did we call it isocitric acid? We call it isocitric acid because I am sorry, aconitase, because water is added here. Now, this is isocitric acid. Now, isocitric acid has how many carbons? 4 plus 2, 6. 6, then we get 5 carbon. From 2 it became 6 with oxaloacetic acid, then 6 became 6 here, and isocitric acid loses carbon dioxide and loses hydrogen to form oxalo alpha ketoglutaric acid. So, this is 5 carbon. So, from 6 carbon to 5 carbon. How? 1 carbon dioxide and 1 NAD. 6 carbon to 5 carbon. So, second carbon dioxide is released. This is first carbon dioxide and this is second carbon dioxide. How many carbons were there in pyruvic acid? 3. First is lost here. So, it became 2 carbon. Second is lost here. How many carbons of pyruvic acid are here now? Only 1 carbon. This is alpha ketoglutaric acid. So, another NAD is used. 1 NAD here, that means 2, and 1 NAD previously. So, 2, 4 NAD there and 1 NAD here, 5 NADs. Now, here again alpha ketoglutaric acid loses one more carbon dioxide and hydrogen 2 NAD again and coenzyme A, like that case here coenzyme A is added and it forms succinyl coenzyme A. Now, one carbon dioxide is lost. So, how many carbons are left? 4. We started with 4 carbons which were there in oxaloacetic acid. Now, again we are left with 4 carbons. Now, how many were added to the 4 carbon? 2 carbons were added. Out of these 2 carbons, one is removed here and the other is removed here. 2 carbons are out. So, 1 carbon is out here in the form of carbon dioxide, it became 2 carbon. 1 carbon here in the form of carbon dioxide, only 1 carbon left out, and here 1 more carbon in the form of carbon dioxide. So, all the 3 carbons which are there in pyruvic acid or pyruvate are now out. Now, we get succinyl coenzyme A. Now, here one NAD is used. 2 NADs are used consecutively to release NADH. Now, succinyl coenzyme A loses the energy to GDP, it is guanosine diphosphate to form GTP. Now, here NAD and other things are not there, but GTP is formed. This kind of formation is called substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation. You cannot remember it. Now, here you remember that GDP gives rise to GTP. Then the coenzyme A is released, GTP is formed. So, one phosphate is out. So, once phosphate is out, it becomes succinic acid. Succinic acid loses hydrogen not to NAD, but to FAD, flavin adenine dinucleotide, not to NAD, but FAD. And what is formed? FADH2. What is FAD? Flavin adenine dinucleotide. Now that forms fumaric acid. Now, this fumaric acid also has 4 carbon. In the presence of fumarase, one water molecule is added and it forms malic acid. Malic acid loses again 2 hydrogen in the presence of malic dehydrogenase, because hydrogen is removed and oxaloacetic acid is back. Now, let us look at this again. How many carbon dioxides were there in 3-phosphoglyceric acid? 3. One is removed here, second is removed here, third is removed here. 3 carbons are out in the form of carbon dioxide. How many NADs are used and how many NADH plus H plus are formed? 1 is here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are used, 1 outside the cycle and 3 inside the cycle. Are ATP formed here? No. What are formed? 1 GTP is formed. Now, another thing is formed, that is FADH2. So, ultimately from pyruvic acid, how many carbons are out? 3 carbons are out. How many NADH plus H plus are formed? 4. How many FADH2 are formed? 1. And how many GTP are formed? 1. And if you multiply it for 2 molecules of pyruvic acid, because 2 molecules of pyruvic acid are formed from 1 molecule of glucose, ultimately we get 4 double the number. So, how many NADH? I am repeating again 4. How many carbon dioxide out? 3. How many ATP formed? None. How many GDP formed? 1. How many FADH2 formed? 1. Next. Now, this is the citric acid cycle. Now, this is the mitochondrion, this is the outer membrane of the mitochondrion and this is the inner membrane of the mitochondrion. I will repeat again the citric acid cycle after completing all this, because there may not be much time. Simultaneously, step by step we will do it again. Now, here in the mitochondrial matrix, you get the citric acid cycle. Next column. Okay, both the things we will study. First back. Now, this is citric acid cycle. Now, there are complexes, complex 1, 3, 4. Here is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Complex 1, 2, 3, 4. And there is a Q which is called quencher. Now, what happens to the products of citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle? What are the products of citric acid cycle? NADH plus H plus. How many? 4 for each pyruvic acid. Now, these how many FADH2? 1 FADH2. Where do they go? Now, what happens is these NADH plus H plus go like this and the hydrogen is released to complex 1 or complex 3 or 4. And 2, complex 2 receives only FADH2. Now, that happens when fumaric acid is succinic acid is converted to fumaric acid, complex 2. Now, complex 1 now, here hydrogen is released, then what happens? The electrons move to the Q from here to here, here to here and here to here. Now, ultimately oxygen combines with hydrogen and electrons to form water. So, carbon dioxide is formed, now water is formed. Now, previous next. Now, here the same thing, this is the outer membrane, this is the inner membrane, this looks bit complicated, whatever it is. Next, outer sheet, 9, back, this is easier. Now, this is called the electron transport system. Now, the electron transport system involves the formation of ATP and the electrons are transferred. How? Let us examine once again. Now, what are the products of glycolysis and Krebs cycle? They are NADH plus H plus and FADH besides ATP, GTP. NADH plus H plus and FADH2. Now, what happens to them? FADH2 which is formed from succinate to fumarate in the presence of succinic dehydrogenase donates its electron to complex 2. From complex 2, the electron moves to 3, then 4, and from NADH2, the electron, this is shown for FADH2 and this is for NADH2. From NADH2, the electron moves to complex 1, then to quencher, then to complex 3 and then to complex 4. Now, in all cases hydrogen is released. Now, here H plus are shown, we will come to that little later. Now, in this case what happens is these hydrogens which are released go into the space between the two membranes, outer membrane and inner membrane. Next, it is the QR. Now, what happens? The same thing let us see here, complex 1, complex 2, complex 3, complex 4. Now, complex 1 NADH NAD, hydrogen moves into the intermembrane space, electrons move to quencher. Complex 2, hydrogen is received from FADH2 and this electron goes to Q to complex 3. From complex 3, the electron move to cytochrome C and from there complex 4. Now, this is the movement, complex 1 to quencher, complex 2 to quencher. The difference between complex 1 and 2 is complex 1 gets the hydrogen from electron from NADH and complex 2 gets the electron from FADH. Now, complex then both complex 2 and complex 1 give the electron to quencher and quencher provides the electrons to complex 3, then complex 3 provides the electron to cytochrome C, cytochrome C to complex 4, and in this process all the hydrogen which are released from NADH or from FADH are into the intermembrane space. Okay. So, the hydrogen ions are getting accumulated in the intermembrane space. This is either complex 5 or complex 0 it is called. So, how many complexes are there? Complex 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we will discuss about complex 5 or complex 0 a little later. Now, previous. आहरी पछू चल गोटे थर समराइज कर दे कि ना 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 एटा हाँ ना एटा टिके कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लगी ओके हाउ एटा थाओ ना एटा टू से प्रीवियस आर प्रीवियस आ गोटे हाँ. Now, in a simpler way, let me explain glycolysis and Krebs cycle and electron transport chain. Please listen to me carefully, then we will go to the formation of ATP. Now, look at this. Now, if you want the formula and other things, you will find it in the other slides. Now, you see here previous. Now, I told you that the breakdown starts with glucose. Glucose has how many carbons? 6. Glucose gets one phosphate and gets converted to glucose 6 phosphate. Glucose 6 phosphate is formed in the presence of the enzyme hexokinase. Kinase because ATP provides the phosphate. Now, glucose 6 phosphate isomerizes to fructose 6 phosphate in the presence of phosphohexoisomerase. It is hexokinase, it is phosphohexo because phosphate is added here, phosphohexoisomerase, fructose 6 phosphate, still it is 6 carbon. Fructose 6 phosphate gets another phosphate from ATP to form fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Now, this is another phosphate, that is two phosphates are now there. How many ATP are used? 2 ATP are used. And how many phosphates are there with 6 carbon compound? 2. And how many carbons are there? Still 6. Now, this fructose 6 biphosphate gets divided into glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate in the presence of triose phosphate isomerase, dihydroxyacetone phosphate glycerol in the presence of the enzyme aldolase. No ATP, nothing is used. Next. Now, so again recall, how many ATP are formed? None. How many ATP are used? 2. One during the conversion from glucose to glucose 6 phosphate and other during the conversion of fructose 6 phosphate to fructose 1,6 biphosphate. 2 ATP are used, 2 phosphates are added in the presence of kinases, 2 kinases. One is hexokinase and the other is phosphohexokinase. Now, still carbons, now carbons are 3 because 6 carbon compound broke into 2 3 carbon compounds, dihydroxyacetone previous dihydroxyacetone phosphate, which is a keto compound, and glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, which is an aldo compound. These two are interconvertible. Next. So, we can also say that from 1 glucose we get 2 glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. All further reactions are with this. Now, the first use of NAD starts here. NAD is used for the conversion of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, which is 3 carbon phosphate compound, to glyceraldehyde 1,3 biphosphoglyceric acid in the presence of NAD, and 1 phosphate is added. Phosphate is added, remember, but here it is not ATP, it is simply phosphate is added, inorganic phosphate, 1,3 biphosphoglyceric acid. Carbons are 3 and NAD is used. Now, 1,3 biphosphoglyceric acid has 2 phosphates, it loses its phosphate to ADP to form ATP. So, kinase, phosphoglycerokinase, and 3 phosphoglyceric acid forms 2 phosphoglyceric acid. It is mutation, change of position, and phosphoenol pyruvic acid is formed in the presence of enolase. Water must be used, and phosphoenol pyruvic acid loses the other phosphate, the 2 phosphates which are there in biphosphoglycerol. One is out here, the other is out here, and both the phosphates are to ATP. So, how many ATP are formed? For 1 glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, 1 glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, 2. So, how many glyceraldehyde 3 phosphates are formed? 2. So, 2 into 2 is 4. 4 ATP are formed. Previous, how many are used? 1, 1, 2. 4 are formed, 2 are used. So, how many, what is the gain? 2. Now, next. No, Tadhar next. No, previous. Next. Now, here how many NAD are used? 1. So, 1 NAD is used here. So, how many NAD total? 2, because glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate is 2 NAD. So, 2 NAD used and 2 NADH plus H plus formed, 2 ATP used, 4 ATP formed. Net gain of ATP 2, net gain of NADH plus H plus 2 for one molecule of glucose. Next. No. Coming to glycolysis, coming to Krebs cycle, the pyruvic acid which is formed in the cytoplasm, remember that glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm. Pyruvic acid which is formed in the cytoplasm changes to acetyl coenzyme A. How many carbons are there in pyruvic acid? 3. Is there any phosphate? No. Further, no phosphate is added. Simply this cycle operates. Now, only NAD and other things and GTP is formed. No ATP is formed in the cycle. ATP is formed in a different way. Now, pyruvic acid is converted to acetyl coenzyme A, which is 2 carbon. So, carbon dioxide is out, 1 carbon dioxide, and here 1 NAD is used. There how many in glycolysis? 2, remember that. Here 1 NAD is used. That means how many NAD? 2, because here, because pyruvic acid 2 NADs. Now, acetyl coenzyme A, which is 2 carbon compound, combines with oxaloacetic acid, which is a 4 carbon compound, to form a 6 carbon citric acid in the presence of citrate synthetase, and coenzyme A is released. So, 6 carbon compound. I am not going to the intricacies of that. Now, here 2 NAD H plus are formed. Now, 6 citric acid is changed to isocitric acid, 6 carbon, 6 carbon. Now, isocitric acid loses 1 carbon dioxide and 1 NAD is used and 1 NADH is formed. When I speak of 1, I am speaking of 1 pyruvic acid, remember that. 1 NAD is used and carbon dioxide is out. So, second carbon dioxide is out. Now, this forms alpha ketoglutaric acid, which is 5 carbon compound. The alpha ketoglutaric acid again loses carbon dioxide and forms NADH. So, one more NAD is used. NAD, one outside the cycle, 2 inside the cycle. Then succinyl coenzyme A is formed because of coenzyme A. Now, coenzyme A is released and there is formation of GTP, not ATP, GTP. Now, succinyl coenzyme A synthetase. Now, this GTP, how many GTP total? 2 naturally, for 1, 1. So, for 2, 2. How many NAD? One more NAD is added, after that we will discuss. Now, succinic acid 4 carbon, fumaric acid 4 carbon, malic acid 4 carbon. Now, during the conversion of succinic acid to fumaric acid, 2 hydrogen are out. It is not to NAD, but FAD. So, 1 FAD. So, ultimately how many FAD? For glucose 2. Now, here again one more NAD when malate is converted to oxaloacetate. So, NAD 1 here. So, if I put it this way, it will be more clear to you. For one molecule of pyruvic acid, you get 1, 2, I am sorry, let us go in cycle 1, 2, 3, 4 NADH plus H2, H plus. This is 4 NADH plus H plus for one molecule of pyruvic acid. So, one molecule of glucose, we get 2 molecules of pyruvic acid. For one molecule of glucose, we get 1, 2, 3, 4 into 2 is 8 molecules of NADH plus H2. For 1 molecule of pyruvic acid, we get 1 GTP. For 2 molecules of pyruvic acid, that is 1 glucose, is 2 GTP, and for 1 molecule of pyruvic acid, we get 1 FADH2. So, for 2 molecules of pyruvic acid or 1 molecule of glucose, we get 2 FADH2. And how many carbon dioxides are released? 3. One is released here, second is released here, and third is released here. So, all 3 carbons are out. Now, you know that respiration is, the equation is C6H12O6 gives rise to 6 carbon dioxide and 6 water. So, 3 carbon dioxide are from 1 pyruvic acid. So, for 2 pyruvic acid from glucose, you get 6 carbon dioxide. All 6 carbons are released from glucose, and in this process we get 4 into 2, 8 NADH plus H plus, 1 into 2, 2 FADH2, and 1 into 2, 2 GTP, and in glycolysis 1 into 2, 2 NADH2, NADH plus H plus, and 1 into and 2 net gain of ATP. Next. Now, the NADH plus H plus and FADH plus H plus, FADH2. Now, FADH2 and NADH plus H plus. Remember this, I cannot explain unless there is a blackboard what is, why it is FADH2 and why it is NADH plus H plus. Okay, I will try to put it in a very simple form, that is NAD is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Now, plus means there is 1 electron shortage. When you add 2 hydrogen to it, hydrogen has how many protons? 2, and how many electrons? 2. The electron satisfies the NAD plus. So, it becomes NAD, and H, proton and electron, and what is left out? 1 H plus. So, NADH plus H plus, whereas in case of FAD, it is FAD no gap, it is not FAD plus, that means there is no electron gap. So, the 2 hydrogens are added to FAD and it is called FADH2. Now, coming to this, after the Krebs cycle or glycolysis, the NADH and FADH2 enter into electron transport system. Electron transport chain exists in the mitochondrial membranes. The mitochondrial membrane has several complexes. Next ku pada seta subidhar bujhiyo. Mitochondrial has some complexes. Now, what are formed? NADH and FAD. Now, what happens? FADH. Here also you see NADH and FADH2. Now, there are several complexes in the mitochondrial inner membrane. Now, complex 1, complex 2, complex 3, complex 4, and the complex 2 and 3 are linked by quencher Q, and complex 3 and 4 are linked by cytochrome C. Now, the difference between these complexes and Q and cytochrome C are, Q and cytochrome C are movable, they are movable, whereas these are fixed. Now, the mitochondrial membrane, now NAD gives its electron to cytochrome 1, complex 1. Now, the complex 1 gives its electron to quencher to C3, C3 to C4 through cytochrome C, and C2 receives hydrogen electron from FADH and FADH2, and through quencher, this also through quencher, this is also through quencher. So, ultimately electrons come to cytochrome 3, and then through cytochrome C they come to complex 4. Now, ultimately the hydrogens enter into intermembrane space and electrons move up to cytochrome, I am sorry, complex 4. At complex 4, the hydrogens which are there inside the system and oxygen combine to form water here. So, I told you that respiration is combination of a formation of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is released, now water is released. So, this is the completion of respiration, that is aerobic respiration. Now, all the hydrogens move to the intermembrane space. Next. Now, the best way of explaining what is the future of the hydrogens which enter into intermembrane space, it is explained by this mechanism which is called chemiosmotic mechanism. Now, what is happening is energy from electron transport chain, hydrogen ions move into the intermembrane space. Now, these are hydrogen. This is complex 5 or complex 0. It is called F0. This is F0 domain rotor. Now, the hydrogen ions are inside the intermembrane space. These hydrogen ions chemiosmotic because they move across this domain through a stalk and head, catalytic head. This is F1 domain, it is F0 domain. Now, head into the inner side again. They went to the intermembrane space and through this F0, F1 domain, they come to the matrix again, and during this process the energy that is released is combining ADP and inorganic phosphate to form ATP. So, ATP is generated through this mechanism from NADH and FADH. Now, let us come to, I am explaining again, the H plus ions get accumulated in the intermembrane space, then these hydrogen ions move into the matrix again through a rotor, that is F0 domain and F1 domain and a stalk, and during this movement energy is released and this energy combines ADP and phosphate to form ATP. So, this process is called chemiosmotic mechanism. Next. Now, how many ATP are formed? Formed, not utilized. ATP yield, that is there in your course. In glycolysis, we get 2 ATP and how many, and one more thing before calculating this, one more thing I must tell, that ATP are formed that way from ADP, but ATP are formed previous Aguru. ATP are formed also here. Here before going to calculation, let me tell one more thing. For every NADH plus H plus we get 3 ATP, and for every FADH2 we get 2 ATP. So, wherever NADH2 are used, NADH plus H plus is formed, we get 3 ATP, and wherever FADH2 is formed, we get 2 ATP in the electron transport chain. So, NAD 3 ATP, FAD 2 ATP. Remember this. Our calculations will be based on that. Next. Now, you know that in glycolysis there are 2 NAD used and 2 NADH formed. 1 NADH is 3 ATP. So, 2 NADH is 6 ATP. So, glycolysis 6 ATP formed from NAD. Now, 2 ATP from substrate level phosphorylation. Here NAD is not used. You remember that in glycolysis we have seen that there are 2 places where ATP is used and 2 places where ATP is formed. So, 4 are formed in after glyceraldehyde and 2 are formed before glyceraldehyde. So, 2 ATP is the net gain. Now, 6 ATP converted from 2 NADH, that is it is right grooming phase. Grooming phase is when Pachugala Auri Krebs cycle Auri here NAD is used besides after glycolysis. Now, this is grooming phase. So, now come back to that. This is grooming phase. Grooming phase 2 NADs are used. So, 2 NADH plus H plus are formed. So, 6 ATP are generated. Next. नहीं सेटा का था मु next माने बुझे वारे next को. Okay. Next is now then 2 ATP in substrate level phosphorylation. It is not ATP, it is wrongly written. It is GTP. GTP is same as ATP, the energy is same. So, 1 GTP in one cycle for 1 pyruvate. So, 2 GTP or ATP. Now, how many NADH are used in the cycle? 3. Outside the cycle 1. So, outside the cycle 1 into 2, that means for 1 pyruvic acid 1 NADH. So, 2 pyruvic acid 2 NADH, for 2 NADH 6 ATP, I am sorry, here 6 ATP in the grooming phase, and here 3 NADH in the cycle. Pochugola Auri eta Pochugu here 1 outside the cycle. So, for 1 pyruvate 1, 2 pyruvate 2, 2 here 6 ATP and 3 here 1, 2, 3. So, 3 into 3 9 ATP, 9 into 2, that is 2 for each, that is 18 ATP. Next, say calculation. Now, 4 ATP from FADH2. I told you that FADH2 gives 2 ATP each. So, total 4 ATP. So, how many ATP? 38 ATP total. Next. Next. Now, coming to anaerobic respiration. Now, anaerobic respiration is without alcohol, two things are formed. One is alcoholic fermentation. Now, glucose forms pyruvic acid after that is glycolysis. After pyruvic acid, the carbon dioxide is lost and acetaldehyde is formed, and acetaldehyde gets converted to ethanol or ethyl alcohol. This is done by yeast. Yeast converts pyruvic acid to acetaldehyde and ultimately to ethanol. Now, this is alcoholic fermentation. Next. Now, here both are shown. Glucose, 2 molecules of pyruvic acid, 2 acetaldehyde, 2 carbon dioxides out and 2 ethanols in the presence of NADH plus H plus. But here there is no oxygen involved. So, there is no Krebs cycle, no electron transport, because oxygen is not involved here. Now, ପଛକୁ ଆହୁରି ଗଲ ଆହୁରି ହଁ in next out here in electron transport, this is the place where oxygen is used in aerobic respiration. Come back to that. Here the glucose may be converted to also lactic acid by the lactic acid bacteria, that is yeast, and this is lactic acid bacteria. Lactic acid or ethanol are formed from pyruvic acid in the after the glycolysis in bacteria or yeast, depending on what type it is, and here no oxygen is involved. Next. What is the difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration? Now, aerobic uses oxygen, anaerobic does not use oxygen. Carbon dioxide and water are produced, we have seen. In Krebs cycle, one after the other carbon dioxide released, and here lactic acid and alcohol are produced, no release of carbon dioxide. 38 ATP produced, 2 ATP produced. Now, controlled by enzymes, both of them. Carbon dioxide always produced, carbon dioxide produced only in alcoholic fermentation. Here carbon dioxide is produced, alcoholic fermentation, but here it is not produced. Now, here glycolysis, pyruvic oxidation, Krebs cycle, electron transport chain. Now, glycolysis only. Now, this is seen in bacteria and fungi like bacteria and fungi like yeast, but here glycolysis, pyruvate oxidation, Krebs cycle, electron transport system, all are involved in aerobic respiration. Next. Anaerobic respiration and fermentation. Now, you will get confused. I am giving you this. So, if required and question comes on this, you can go through it. Next. Now, next is amphibolic pathways. Amphibolic means you know that there are two words, one is catabolism and anabolism. Catabolism and anabolism, one is formation and the other is breakdown. Now, this you see amphibolic pathway is anabolic pathway and catabolic pathway. Now, proteins are formed, carbohydrates are formed and lipids are formed. It is anabolic pathway. Now, catabolic pathway is breakdown of proteins, carbohydrates and lipids to carbon dioxide and water. This is anabolic pathway, anabolic and catabolic pathway. The same compounds are formed and broken down, and the cycle is operating, and this cycle is amphibolic pathway. Next. Now, the same amphibolic pathway, carbohydrates, fats and proteins, carbohydrates, fatty acids and glycerol, sugars, glucose 6-phosphate, fructose, this breakdown Krebs cycle. This is catabolism, anabolism is their formation. This is amphibolic pathway. Next. Now, आपरे कौन अच्छी की आओ नहीं ना हाँ पचुकास हाँ. Now, the last one that we wish to discuss is respiratory quotient. Respiratory quotient is very simple to remember, volume of carbon dioxide by volume of oxygen in any process is called respiratory quotient. That means, how much oxygen is taken and how much carbon dioxide is released. That can be measured by a respirometer. That can be measured by a respirometer. Now, back next. Now, for carbohydrates, the respiratory quotient is 1. 6 carbon dioxide, 6 oxygen. V stands for volume. 6 carbon dioxide and 6 oxygen. For fats, more oxygen is used, less carbon dioxide is released. So, the efficiency is less, 0.7. For protein, it is 0.8. So, carbohydrates are the most efficient ones to generate the respiratory quotient or energy. से कुआड़े गला रो 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 टिके मुआ एते जल्दी सारिबाटा भी ठीक नहीं केते समय हला हाँ हेलानी आओ 5-10 मिनट on. We have completed respiration. I will give you a brief sum up of respiration now without any slides. Be attentive, listen to me so that you can remember something. Now, there is no question of asking questions from your side or whatever it is, but whatever in a simpler way I can explain, I will explain that. Respiration is the process of breaking down of food materials into simpler compounds, and in this process energy is released. This process can take place either in the presence of oxygen or in the absence of oxygen. When it takes place in the presence of oxygen, it is called aerobic respiration, and when it takes place in the absence of oxygen, it is called anaerobic respiration. First, let us see where respiration starts. Respiration starts with food material. What kind of food material? Carbohydrates, proteins or fats. But the most important one is carbohydrate and especially glucose, because all our discussions are based on glucose. Now, all can be broken, but the most common thing that we take up for discussion is glucose. Now, what happens in human body is once we have respiration, the substances are broken and ultimately energy is released. That is why we are surviving. But when carbohydrates are there, proteins and fats are not used. When carbohydrates are not there, proteins and fats are used. That is why we discuss mostly about carbohydrates. So, with what respiration starts? Glucose. And how can it takes place? Either in the presence of oxygen or in the absence of oxygen. Now, presence of oxygen, it is called aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration involves two places, one is cytoplasm and the other is mitochondrion, whereas anaerobic respiration involves only cytoplasm. Now, the first step of both aerobic and anaerobic respiration is glycolysis. What is glycolysis? Breakdown of glucose. Glucose is broken down to simpler molecules by glycolysis. What are the simpler molecules? To understand that, how many carbons glucose has? Glucose has 6 carbons. Now, 6 carbon glucose is broken down to 2 carbon pyruvic acid, 2 molecules. So, 6 carbon become 2 molecules of 3 carbon compounds. This is the process of glycolysis. What happens during this conversion? A 6 carbon compound glucose gets a phosphate. I am not talking about enzymes here, because that will confuse you. You can see the lecture to understand that. Glucose gets a phosphate to form glucose 6 phosphate. So, 6 carbons, a phosphate attached to 6th position. Now, glucose 6 phosphate isomerizes or changes to fructose 6 phosphate, which is also a 6 carbon compound. Now, fructose 6 phosphate changes to fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Now, by the formation of fructose 1,6 biphosphate, we get we use 2 ATP. How? One ATP is used when glucose is converted to glucose 6 phosphate, and another ATP is used when fructose 6 phosphate is converted to fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Now, ATP are used. How many ATP are used? 2 ATP are used. Now, what is formed? Fructose 1,6 biphosphate. Fructose 1,6 biphosphate breaks to 2 3 carbon compounds, glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. One is aldehyde and other is ketone. These two are interchangeable, they can isomerize. Now, further reactions are all molecules of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate forms 3 phosphoglyceric acid. Now, 3 phosphoglyceric acid forms 2 phosphoglyceric acid, and then what is formed? Phosphoenol pyruvic acid. Phosphoenol pyruvic acid loses phosphate to form pyruvic acid. These are the steps of glycolysis. Now, 2 ATP are used, and in the process of formation of pyruvic acid, 2 ATP are generated from glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Now, glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate becomes 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid, 2 phosphates, but ATP is not used. So, 2 phosphates are there with 1,3-biphosphoglyceric acid, and these 2 phosphates are released in 2 steps. 1,3-biphosphoglyceric acid loses the phosphate to ADP to form ATP. So, 1 ATP formed, and 3-phosphoglyceric acid forms 2-phosphoglyceric acid, then phosphoenol pyruvic acid and pyruvic acid. Again here 1 ATP is formed when phosphoenol pyruvic acid is converted to pyruvic acid. So, 2 ATP are formed from 1 glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. So, ultimately 4 ATP are formed. Used are 2. Now, in Krebs cycle, we get these pyruvic acid enters into Krebs cycle by entering into the mitochondrion. Pyruvic acid, which is formed in cytoplasm, goes to the mitochondrion. Now, inside the mitochondrion, pyruvic acid is converted to acetyl coenzyme A. Pyruvic acid has 3 carbons, acetyl coenzyme A has 2 carbons. So, 1 carbon dioxide is released, and then through a series of steps. Now, acetyl coenzyme A combines with 4 carbon oxaloacetic acid to form 6 carbon citric acid, and citric acid through a number of steps again comes back to oxaloacetic acid through a cycle which we call as Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. Now, here the 2 carbons which were added are again released, 1 carbon from pyruvic acid to acetyl coenzyme A and 2 carbons from citric acid to oxaloacetic acid. So, all the 3 carbons are released in the form of carbon dioxide. In these steps, certain things happen. During the conversion of acetyl coenzyme A to pyruvic acid to acetyl coenzyme A, 1 NADH is formed, and in the cycle 3 NADH are formed, and 1 FADH is formed, and 1 GTP is formed. I cannot explain this verbally. I am telling you this only for information. You can go through the lecture to find out how the NAD are formed. Now, these NAD enter into electron transport chain. The electron in the electron transport chain, each NAD H gives rise to 3 ATP and each FADH2 gives rise to 2 ATP. So, altogether we get 38 ATP combined both from Krebs cycle and glycolysis, and FADH2 gives rise to 2 ATP and NADH2 gives rise to 3 ATP each through the electron transport system. Through the electron transport system, when the electrons move, the hydrogen ions move to the intermembrane space of mitochondrion. They get accumulated there, and the electrons move through a number of complexes, complex 1, complex 2, complex 3, complex 4. Now, FADH2 gives its electron to complex 2, NADH2 gives its electron to complex 1, and both of them gives the electrons to quencher. Quencher gives it to complex 3, complex 3 gives rise to complex 4, and at complex 4 water is formed from the electron and oxygen. So, oxygen is used there inside the matrix, and the hydrogen ions which are accumulated in the intermembrane space, they come back to the matrix through F0 F1 unit with a head, stalk and base. Now, they come back, and during the process of movement of hydrogen ions from the intermembrane space into the matrix, we get energy, and that energy is used to form ATP. 1 NAD 3 ATP and 1 FAD 3 ATP. If I say NAD, I mean NADH plus H plus. If I say FADH, FAD, I say FADH2, and both NADH plus H plus and FADH2 donate the electron through electron transport chain. This is a very vital thing for all our living organisms, and fermentation does not involve oxygen, and it gives rise to either alcohol or lactic acid. And finally, respiratory quotient is the ratio of carbon dioxide and oxygen. And amphibolic pathway is one more thing I must tell. All the carbohydrates, fats and proteins are formed and they are broken. Formation, anabolism, breakdown, catabolism, both the things combined, amphibolic pathway. That is the essence of your glycolysis chapter. You may go through the entire lecture to understand the details. Thank you.